treat today. Luxury Bunny Blast.
All right. Hold up. Give me a second. All right. I am back. And hold up really quickly. Let me do this. Yeah, I got nothing to use. Okay, so I wanted to make a wishlist video. The way I have it, the way I have it situated, is that I have the units that are not MLB in my wish list instead of the strong units. So, I guess I'll make a early and a late game one. The early one will be super fast. Cause early game, actually, you know what? No. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna make a general tier list, and then for each category of unit, I'm going to go over if you want to get at least one copy of the unit or not. So I'm just gonna make a general one. So for Elysian, do you want a copy of Signal? No, you can do without her. Do you want a copy of Emma? If you want to play PvP, Emma is the counter to every single machine gun unit in the entire game. If you care about PvP, I would get at least one copy of Emma, just so you can pretty much win any machine gun fight. So if you care about PvP, then yes, I would say to get one copy of Poli. You get a copy of Privity for free, but early on in the game, if you have not broken 160, because you get an early copy of Privity, you're going to want to put her here. Right now, she's not the best. I'm going to be honest. She's just not the best. Her support nowadays is lackluster. Her damage nowadays is lackluster. I mean, her damage was always lackluster, but nowadays it's just even more so. And really, this chick is the entire reason. She is the entire reason why the Last Bullet Fire team is not super strong right now. Because the Last Bullet Fire team is tied to Privity. If she's not on the team, the Last Bullet Fire team is going to function extremely clunkily. So we need another unit that can enable the Last Bullet Fire team that's stronger than her. Or we need Privity to get a favorite item. One of the two. That will bring units like Dorothy, Essanice back into meta. Helm is crazy right now. She's definitely going on there. D is crazy, just in general. She's definitely going on there. Do you want a copy of Vesti? I think that it's fine without her. Do you want a copy of Guillotine? If this was 2 or 3 months ago, I would have said yes. Nowadays, you just have so many DPSs that are just out. They're just outscaling her. So I would probably say no for Guillotine. Kiri. Funnily enough, I would say yes. Kiri is the only healer on the HP team. Normally, you can get by without a healer by just using Rouge's buffs. But if you really need a healer on an HP team, she is the only healer in the entire game. Well, besides Noise, I guess. Well, Noise does it off of her burst. She does it passively. She will buff the 2 HP damage dealers overall HP just flat out continuously, I believe. So I would say to get one copy of her. She's not really worth putting on the list, but just in case you need a healer. Yeah, see? 11.63% continuously for 2 defenders. And it just so happens that every single HP scaling DPS in this game is a defender. So she is the only healer in the entire game that will continuously raise your HP. So I would say for the HP team, get at least one copy and then dip. Plus she has a really hot shooting pose. Miranda, if you want to build a Snow White one-shot team, go for it. I think that one copy will do though. Actually, if you want to build a Snow White one-shot team, I would put her on the wish list until you get her to MLB. So once she's MLB, you'll be able. Well, no, once she's LB2, I believe, you'll be able to get her favorite item. It doesn't skill off of her own attack, right? It does not skill off of her own attack. So, yeah. I would say just getting to LB2 is fine. Diesel. You don't really need her. She's not the best. Brid. You don't really need her. She's not the best. She could be really good if she gets a favorite item. She has a really, really strong nuke. If she gets a favorite item, she could be a really good DPS with that crazy nuke. Celine, you don't really need her. Yanwa, you don't really need her. Maiden, arguably the worst attacker in the entire game. I mean, what kind of attacker taunts the enemy to make themselves get hit? B, I would get at least one copy. Mast, I would get at least one copy. Marciana, if you for some reason want to build the HP team, I mean the last bullet fire team, you're going to want a Marciana, but it's not really the craziest right now, so I'd probably go for one copy. Privity Unkind Maid, probably really good. She's the best electric DPS option for the shotgun team at the moment. Zwei, you could probably do without. She's like a worse version of D-Killer Wife, if I remember correctly. Phantom, this is it. And this is the question. So these chicks are definitely going on there. They're way too broken. Then it's either Phantom or Privity, and I think that Phantom might be a little bit better than Privity, just because these two maids are just so broken. Privity still does a lot of DPS. If you focus more on the shotgun team, I would go for Privity. If you focus more on these two, I'd probably go for Phantom. It just depends. Now, Maxwell. Okay, this one's going to be hard. Bacillus has a lot of really, really good units. They don't have a lot of units, but they have a lot of really good units. Well, they don't have a lot of units in comparison to someone like Tetra. So, this one's going to be hard. These two are definitely on there. Dude. Glitter? I would say that she's kind of... Okay. She doesn't really benefit, like, a lot from dupes, since she is a supporter that does not even support based off of her own stats. She just does a flat-out support. So, unlike some of these other supporters, like, say, Tuve, who supports based off of their own attack, she just does just like a flat-out, like, attack boost. So you don't really need dupes, but getting dupes on her would make your teams stronger when you run her in like campaign and stuff. So it just depends. If you want, you can just go for one copy, or you can go for like core 7. It just depends. Drake. Okay, dude, this is genuinely so hard. I don't know. For now, let's put these. And then let's also put Drake there, because all of these units are actually really, really good. So for Maxwell and Drake, they're both DPSs. They're both going to benefit a lot from dupes. Maxwell is a support DPS. Drake is just a really good DPS. She's only on the shotgun team, though, so she's not super universal. But on the shotgun team, she's going to be doing so much. But she has to be on the shotgun team. Oh, and that's specifically with her favorite item. Without her favorite... Okay. All these units that have favorite items, I'm talking about them specifically with their favorite item. Like Helm. Helm without her favorite item. Miranda without her favorite item. They're just not super crazy. Helm is still really good without her favorite, but I'm talking specifically with favorites for all of these units. So I'm talking about Drake with her favorite. With her favorite, she's insane on a shotgun team. Tuve, if you really want to build a shotgun team, she supports off of her own. I keep saying a lot. She supports off of her own attack, so getting a dupe is actually going to help the entire team because they're all going to be getting just more attack. So if you want to build a shotgun team, Tuve would be really nice on there. Pepper, I would get 1 copy of. Laplace, I would probably get her to LB2 just to get her favorite. Her favorite's pretty good. It makes her one of the best iron DPSs in the entire game. Julia, I would skip. Senti's really good, like the best burst generator in the entire game for PvP, I believe. Jackal is like the best PvP unit in the game. So if you care about PvP, I would put Senti and Jackal on there. PvP does give you gems, so I can understand if you do care about it. So I would at least get a copy of Senti and Jackal, even if you don't care about PvP, just because PvP does give you gems. But if you do care about PvP, then you can put these 2 on there instead of this. I really don't think that you should be doing that, but you know, if you do care about PvP more than anything else, then you can put Senti and Jackal on this fight right here. Elig, you can probably pick up a single copy. Actually, no. She had 1 job, and that was to increase damage dealt proportional. And now the maids are just doing a better job. So you really don't need her anymore as long as you have the maids. Adme, you don't really need. Uni, she's kind of a gimmick character. She's pretty good on defense battles because she can like freeze enemies in place. Outside of defense battles, she's pretty much useless. Crow, you don't really need. Epinel, you don't really need. Trony, she's not awful, but she's not really good either. So she's like a middle-of-the-road DPS. For a DPS to be the middle of the road, it's not really the best option. Ein and Quincy. Actually, Ein, Quincy, and Mana. All really good DPSs. And Mana is also a little bit of a supporter as well. A little bit of a supporter. But Ein, Quincy, and Mana, they're both... No, all 3 of them are really, really good. I would actually put Quincy above. And then me personally, I would put Ein above them as well. I would put Quincy and Ein above Maxwell and Drake. I would put Mana on par with Maxwell, in my personal opinion. And then, like I said, if you really, really, really want to build a shotgun team, then you can put Drake here instead of like one of these 2 or something. But the schoolgirls have to be here. They're like the best Macilis units in the entire game still. Super valuable. I did skip Flora and Trina, so Flora, not really. No, you could ignore her. Trina, I would say to get around 1 copy. She's pretty good. Like I said, though, I don't think that getting litter to max core is like super essential. It would help you power up your CP of your team, but it's not really super essential. I'd actually probably put Maxwell above that. So yeah, Maxwell, Mana, or Drake can probably be there. So I would say that once you get a copy of her, you can probably chill until you at least get 1 copy of, you know, Maxwell, Quincy, Ein, Drake. Well, no, I would not put Drake there. I would put Maxwell, Quincy, Ein, Quincy, Ein, and then Mana. Get at least 1 copy of those after you get a copy of Litter, and then I would probably put her back on after you get 1 copy of those. So after you get 1 copy of each of those 4, I'd probably just put her back on there. But until you do, she's not really super essential to get a bunch of dupes on. For Drake and Tuve, they actually do benefit a lot from dupes. Like I was saying, if you do want to be building a shotgun team, you're actually going to be wanting to get both of them up in these 5. Getting Tuve dupes is going to be benefiting the entire team. Getting Drake dupes is also going to be benefiting the entire team because Drake's just going to be doing more damage, which will just help out the team in general. With that being said, if you're not building the shotgun team, they're not really essential, so I'd probably say it's fine. Then for this one, Exia, one of the best favorite items in the entire game. I would probably get her to LB2, 100%. Put Alice on there. I can't talk. Alice is crazy good. Until you get her to max core, I'd probably keep her on this wish list forever. Ludmilla, I would probably ignore. Noise, if you care about PvP. Actually, you know what? Even if you don't, I would still get at least one copy of Noise. She's just really, really... She's a nice person to have if you really need her. Milk's favorite item makes her around the number 5 or... No, I would say she's tied for the number 5 burst in the entire game with Tuve. When she has her max favorite item. She does benefit the team with her max favorite more than Volume does. She knocks Volume out of the top 5 and down to around number 6. So, I mean, but at the same time, that is still only position 5. There's, what, 4 other burst ones that are just undoubtedly better than her, and I am counting Roppy Red Hood in her burst 1 form as one of those burst ones. Rupee, I love her. I pretty much always have her on my wish list because she is my girl, but she's not really the best. You could probably do without her, is what I would say. Get her to max core. I love her. Totally not biased. Viper, really good. Hold up. Oh my goodness, hold up. All right, well, I don't know how, but I think that my mic was muted the entire time, but somehow it glitched and it actually let my voice come through. Oh my gosh, I would have been so annoyed if I would have had to do all of that over again. Where was I? Viper. Viper, yes. Just had to make sure. So Viper's really, really good. Probably the number 2 the number 2 hardest hitting burst 2 in the entire game, right behind Grave. She's also really good on a shotgun team if you can fit her in there. She's really good on a parts damage team. She's just pretty decent. Like overall, I would at least get her favorite item, is what I would say. It would help you. Novel, she's not really the craziest right now. In fact, you would rather use Viper. Viper is just like a better version of Novel right now. Volume, like I said, I would get at least one copy of her, but she's around number 6 right now in terms of units that you can use for burst 1. It's not really the craziest, unfortunately. She's been knocked down. She needs a favorite now because there's at least 5 other options that are better for her, and if you have those 5, you're probably never going to use her again. Yan, no. Biscuit for PvP, I probably would say yes. Just get at least one copy of her in general. But for PvP, if you're going to be playing a lot of PvP, then you're going to want to be getting a lot of copies of her. If you want to build a shotgun team, Leona's probably going to be the one that is going to help you a lot in Tetra. A lot of people do like using Blanc instead, but if you can get by without Blanc, then Leona is going to be increasing your damage. Moran, probably the best tank in the entire game. That's really all that she does, though. All that she does is tank. So if you need a tank, you can swap her on. That's pretty much it. She's pretty much unkillable if you have her at a good enough investment level. Outside of that investment level, she can probably die pretty easily, but once you get her to enough investment, she's going to be pretty much unkillable. I don't think that my Moran has ever died. Ever. I would say to get at least one copy. Sugar. I would say to get one copy. She's not really super crazy right now, but, you know, I feel, for some reason, I feel like when she's going to be getting a favorite item, she's going to be really, really good. But at the moment, you really don't even need the one copy. It's just that I feel like she can maybe help you in the future. I don't know. It's just a feeling, man. I would say that you really don't need her, but there's a feeling that everyone should get at least one copy of her. I don't know what the feeling is, but I just have a feeling. Blanc, she's pretty much like needed on this wish list. She's just really, really good. She's really, really good. She's just way too good. Noir, she's fallen off, unfortunately. For Blanc, you need a member of her squad, and you can just use Rouge instead. I believe that Jean is the last member of their squad, and she's not released yet. So I would say that Noir is not really needed if you can just use a Blanc and Rouge. Prima, not really. No, she's not really anything crazy. Mary, not really anything crazy. Yoha, not really anything crazy. I would say for Dala, pick up at least one copy of her. She is the only burst 2 in the entire game, besides Summer Helm, that has CDR on her kit. CDR is cooldown reduction. I don't know if I've said that yet this video, but yeah. CDR is cooldown reduction, and it is pretty much what any really good burst 1 is going to want to have. The 5 burst 1s above volume all have CDR. They all have a cooldown reduction. Because without a cooldown reduction, you'll be waiting a few seconds every single time you get to your full burst. Cooldown reductions are just kind of necessary. Folkwang, not really necessary. Sakura, I'd get one copy. So Dala and Sakura are a one copy. Cocoa, I would say you don't really need her. Soda, you don't really need her. Aria, you don't really need her. Rasana, I'd get one copy. Nero, you don't really need her. I would maybe get one copy, because she's a really good tank, but like Moran, that's all that she does. And the thing is, Moran doesn't need anyone else, but Nero kind of needs a healer on the team. Aid, you don't really need her. Bay and Clay have elite lobbies, but you don't really need them. Romani has a really good lobby too. You do not really need her. Soda, I would say yes, you want. Rouge, okay, hold up. Okay, these three are gonna be probably the best ones. After them, Tetra has a lot of units, but not a lot of really insane units. That's the thing. Maybe this. Try to get Exia as strong as possible, because her favorite item is really, really good. After Exia, I mean, you could put Noir on there if you really want to. I would probably say no still. And I would say probably Soda. Probably Soda. You would also want to get at least one copy of Alice Bunny, but probably Soda. For the Pilgrims, this is going to be way easier. They're either useless or useful in like every scenario. So Rapunzel's like, I guess I can't really say that she's the best healer in the game anymore with Naga and Helm, huh? She is the most consistent healer that is the easiest to use. Plus, she has a safety net in that she does have a revive. I would say to get at least one copy of her. Snow White, if you want to put a Snow White one-shot team, go crazy with her. Besides that, I'm not sure. Modernia, I would probably put her up there. Dorothy, I would probably get one copy, and then that's it. So, for now, I would say one copy of Dorothy, one copy of Rapunzel, one copy of Snow White, unless you really want to build a Snow White team, in which case put her up there in the top 5. Well, in the 5 that you're picking. Noah, I would pick if you're going to be using PvP a lot, or playing PvP a lot. She's really good at PvP. Red Hood, insane. You know what? I'm just gonna there. Yes. Actually, no. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I would say these are the most important 5. Modernia, I would get up next. Right after Modernia, I would get up Grave. I would probably ignore Isabel and Haran. They're pretty much completely useless. Kind of in the same boat with Dorothy. They just really don't have a lot of uses. The thing with Dorothy is that she's actually really good. She just doesn't have a really good team right now. The thing is, she's tied to Privity. Privity on a team right now is just a damage loss. So she just doesn't really have a good team. Without Privity, she's not nearly as easy to use. So I would say Isabel and Haran, you can just completely ignore. Scarlet, she's still really, 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 really good, especially in PvP. She's just not as good as she used to be. But I would say after you get these 5, get Modernia, and then get Grave. But these 5 are just absolutely insane. Red Hood, super versatile. The most versatile unit in the entire game. Crown, arguably the best unit in the entire game. Roppy Red Hood, in my opinion, the best unit in the entire game has got to be Roppy Red Hood. Crown is a very, very, very close second. But Roppy Red Hood is so unbelievably broken. Has a burst 1 and a burst 3. Both. In both forms, she's just way too freaking good, dude. She provides way too much team-wide support to still be doing that much damage as a burst 1. And as a burst 3, screw the support. She's just going all in on the damage. The damage is absolutely insane. Crown, the best supporter in the entire game, bar none. It's not even a competition. Crown is the best supporter in the entire game. Scarlet Black Shadow, she's not as versatile as Red Hood, but she has a little bit more damage than Red Hood. Red Hood, in my opinion, is better because she's more versatile, but a lot of people seem to value Scarlet Black Shadow more because she just does a little bit more damage in general. And then Cinderella, the best single target DPS in the entire game. No one can out DPS her in terms of single target. She is the best single target in the entire game. Well, it depends. If you're running a core damage buffing team while also running a bunch of MGs, they'll probably out damage Cinderella, yeah. Because MGs, when they're targeting cores, can do an insane amount of damage. But outside of that one specific scenario, Cinderella is the best boss killer in the entire game. These are probably the ones I would say I would go for on a wish list if I was starting out the game. Can't really tell what the blacked out ones are because, you know, they're blacked out. But yeah, I'd probably say that this is the best one in my personal opinion. All right. No, do not save. Cancel. Bruh, if you don't cancel. Okay. Yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned something, yada, yada, yada. And I hope you guys like, share, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And if not, then I just appreciate you guys coming to watch the video. I appreciate it. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.